Rockford cultural leaders say the state of the art in the community is strong. WIFR's Nathaniel Langley finds how a new business represents that growth.
Rockford artists say the scrap jar will arrive to downtown as a symbol of cultural growth in the community, but they believe that growth may be threatened.
I see a relationship between RU and the Armory.
Cultural leaders from across the Rockford area gather.
These in-person meetings allow people and organizations to say, you know what, we're doing something like that. Maybe we could connect.
Angela Martinez joins the meeting for the first time, the owner of downtown's newest store, the Scrap Jar.
I can save craft supplies from being wasted or thrown away and find a way for those scraps to find a home.
The lifelong Rockford resident expects good cultural company in downtown.
On a personal level, I've always wanted a space to hang out and be creative. I can help Rockford grow and kind of add to that community down here.
To have another store that is arts related creates a critical mass then, and you have things happening all of the time.
Arts leaders claim the picture isn't perfect for local culture. A potential funding freeze against diversity, equality, and inclusion programs may pause some of their services.
It has only strengthened us, so I don't see that limiting those funds is going to do anything but hurt us.
McNamara Bernstein says to survive the federal uncertainty, the local art community must band together.
If we can keep our organizations looking for different funding opportunities, collaborating with each other, we're going to be in great shape.
Martinez hopes for a soft opening in the coming weeks. The goal is a grand opening just in time for the spring art scene near the end of April.
Thank you, Nathaniel. McNamara Bernstein mentions the council's plans for the Armory are in a holding pattern. The legal status of federal funds awaits approval from the Trump administration.